So now let us look at what we have been calling the CIA triangle. The CIA triangle, please, this is very, very important because this is one of the most important concepts in cybersecurity. The CIA triangle. At the top of the CIA triad, we have what is called confidentiality. Confidentiality. Secondly, we have what we call integrity, then availability. When we are talking about confidentiality, if you look at the triangle there, we are saying this information, how many people have access to it, or who is actually meant to have access to this information. For instance, when you went to go and apply for admission or for JAMB, you would only see a place to create account and fill in your information and select your courses. Am I right or wrong? Do you see all other people that have applied? Because by confidentiality principle, the back end or the back office is meant to be seen with only a username that wants to type in that username, you see the back. Facebook now, before you log into Facebook, you only see the login page. When you log in, you now see your own personal account. That is confidentiality. Confidentiality has to do with authorization and access management. Who has access to what we are doing? Who has control to what we are doing? Who can walk into this class? Confidentiality. Now we talk about integrity. Integrity. Let's give a typical scenario. Let's use what is happening right now with dispatch riders. You order food from Kilimanjaro in Choba Junction to come to this class because maybe the class will take till evening. From Kilimanjaro, you ordered 2 portions of plantain. A portion of plantain is maybe 3 pieces or 4 pieces. You now order 2 portions to be 6 pieces. The dispatch rider Kilimanjaro is about to send. I've not eaten since morning. And he puts the food in his stuff. As he's driving, once he gets to Newport Gate, his people from the other side have told him, why don't you, this is 2 portions. Are you sure that person knows that 2 portions is 6 pieces? Maybe the person thinks it's 5 pieces. So the guy now stops, untie the rubber band, and sees 6 pieces. He removes 1 to be 5. His mind will then tell him, this guy was, how would 2 portions be 5? It's supposed to be 4, so that it will be equal to 2. He has removed another 1. He bottled it back and came and brought it back to you. You receive fried rice, chicken, and 4 plantains. Kilimanjaro sent fried rice, chicken, and 6 plantains. Now, those 6 plantains, or that 2 plantain, probably had the information, or that 2 plantain was needed to make you to carry on till maybe if the class was to end by 4 p.m. By 2 p.m., you suddenly fainted and they took you to the hospital. When the doctors were now checking, they said, we sent 6 plantain to you. Why did you faint? You received only 4. You said I received food. You said, no, I sent 6. That one said I received 4. What happened along the way? There was a breach of the information. That is what we call integrity. As information is flowing along the way, has it been intercepted? Has it been manipulated? Has it been modified? This is a very, very important concept in cybersecurity because this is actually what hackers usually do. Remember the case of the pipeline. What did they do? They did a virus. What information did that virus contain? That virus may have contained an information when, let's say like the pipeline, the virus contained an information when 100 barrels of oil is being pushed from the well. 100 barrels should get to maybe the generator room. The information the virus is sending is that as this 100 barrels is going to the generator room, it is meant to go in a very slow fashion so that once it gets to that stage, it will not burst. The way they modify the virus as it's going, go with full force. Maybe we have a case of a vehicle that is driving itself, like all those pleasure park. Those things people usually enter that has a constant speed that has been programmed. That is one very good example. I write a code and put in the system there. What is that code saying? When this thing is being spinning, as it gets to the top, it's meant to maybe reduce. Instead of reducing to 20 kilometers, increase it to 80 kilometers. So that as it's getting to that top, at 80 kilometers, the machine will suddenly derail and people will fly out. That is how those attacks occur. That means the information has been modified. The information lacks integrity. That is to say that this is a very, very important concept in cybersecurity. We have another thing called availability. How available is your, please, if you are coming in, no noise. How available are your systems? Cyber criminals use this very important concept to cause harm. Let us give a case scenario of availability. Who can give us one practical scenario of availability? One very practical scenario of availability in Nigeria. Anybody, please? Anybody? Availability. Okay, to save time, I'll quickly proceed. Let's talk about electronic voting. You know, once Nigeria say they want to do electronic voting or electronic transmission of results, there's a room for cyber attack. How do we practicalize that? Election is meant to hold by from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and we are doing electronic voting. And people are planning to rig the election. People are planning to rig the election. What would they do? To rig the election, they just have to look for a very small window to make sure that that system where that is powering the election portal is not available. So at that window now, they go in and maybe cause a network traffic jam. The server only goes down for 10 minutes. That 10 minutes the server has gone down. They have gone to the back end and pumped in 1,000 votes for their own preferred candidates. By the time the server suddenly comes online, you are seeing that their preferred candidate is suddenly winning. Availability. They made sure they interfered with the availability of the system in order to cause a very important harm to the platform. Okay, so as we were saying, so that is one practical example of availability. So when you go back to this diagram and to your reading, you should please study this triangle very, very well. Let's define the CIA TRIAD. Confidentiality simply means ensuring that information is accessible to only authorized parties. Please mark that word, authorized. Mark that word, please. Mark that word, authorized. Authorization is a characteristic of principle of confidentiality. You will see it in exams. I'm saying it now, authorization. Authorization is one of the characteristics of confidentiality. How do you implement confidentiality to ensure that information is only available to authorized personnel? Number one, encryption. Encryption simply means a way you can, to padlock or to lock up the information or to make the information in such a way that the only person that should read it should probably have a particular software to open up that platform. Let's take, for instance, the information I want to send to him is very critical. I will develop a software such that even if I give it to him, he cannot open it. He has to use that same software to open my own platform. Dispatch rider now, for the encryption, I can maybe, you see this phone now, I can decide to send the phone through him as the rider to the next person. But I will tell only that guy the password, so that when he goes there, he will check the password and give him the information I want, and he takes the information to other people. Access control. Access control is another way to ensure confidentiality. This class, only year 2 is meant to enter. I can put a biometric stuff on this door. When I put that door, it will ensure that if your fingerprint is not registered, you can't have access to the classroom. Just like what I said, in our next class, we'll start registration of our finger to take attendance. And when we do that now, nobody will write names for another. Hope you are taking attendance. Nobody will write name for another person that is not in the class. Because once you come, your fingerprint is unique to you. And attendance is 5 marks. You know what 5 marks can do in respect to your A? Authentication systems. Authentication system is verified. Authentication, username, password. That is a very simple way of explaining authentication. What are 3 real-world examples of confidentiality? Medical record protection, military classified information, and corporate trade secrets. Integrity. Integrity means maintaining accuracy and completeness of data. How do you implement it? Digital signatures, version control, hash functions. When you are doing your forensics, I think you are doing it this semester. You are doing it this semester, forensics. You should probably get more information on that. I will speak on version control to align with integrity. For integrity of information now, let's say I have a Microsoft Word document that has the list of classes, or that has exam question. I know that some of you here, you may have a way of maybe hacking into my system to get the MS Word of exam question. And the title of the Microsoft Word document, once you go to my system, you go and start typing maybe CYB 282 exams. And once you see a Microsoft Word document there, you have taken it. I'll suddenly create another MS Word document and call it V2. You won't know why I said V1 or V2. You only carried one. And I'm saying I'm using the second version of the exam question. That is version control. Real world example of integrity. Banking transactions usually have timestamp. Timestamp, as at when something happens. Software updates usually have version control and digital signature. So that if I update my WhatsApp today and there's a problem, I can roll back the update. I can go to my Google Play Store, like my phone has somewhere called uninstall updates. Uninstall updates would uninstall the updates without uninstalling the original software. So that is made possible by version control and digital signatures. Availability. Ensuring that authorized users only have access to resources. How do we implement it? Redundancy. I've implemented power backup now. Backup systems. I have 2 internet tiers. One is as my backup. Data recovery is a very important concept in cybersecurity. When we say data recovery, we are saying, what if something happened? How easy is it for you to recover from a cyber attack? For instance, my entire laptop now is backed up to my phone. If I go anywhere in the world and I want to access a document on my laptop, I just need to go to my Google Drive on my phone and go to the, in fact, my entire laptop is mirrored on my phone. Anything I need on my system, I get it on my phone. So if my laptop gets stolen for any reason, I won't cry. I just need to buy or to have access to any other system and I'll simply restore my phone to the laptop and all my information goes back there. That is data recovery plan. What if your system is compromised for whatever reason? Do you have a resilient data recovery plan? What is your emergency recovery service? Example of real world example of real world example of availability. Cloud services. Who can explain what is meant by cloud? You know, we hear this word cloud, cloud, cloud. What do you understand by cloud? What do you understand by cloud? Cloud. Yes, you. Eh? No, someone else should help us. What do you understand by cloud? Information. Okay. Who can help us again? Cloud. We hear cloud. What do you understand by cloud?
Like a software used to back up our files.
Software to back up. Who can help us again? My guy that is plating weaving that just came in. Yeah, what's your name? Gift. You have been hearing of cloud. Cloud. So what do you understand by cloud? When you hear cloud, what do you think cloud mean? Cloud. You hear of cloud storage, cloud backup, cloud everything. What do you understand by cloud? Okay. Who else? Who else will help us? Yes, cloud. Your name? Evidence. Okay, what is cloud? Online instead of physical. What's cloud?
The use of internet to access computer.
Okay. What's your own name? Mary Jane. Okay. Who wants to help us again? Your name and you define it. Sorry? Chairman. Edachi. Okay, cloud.
Virtual storage.
Virtual storage. So let's simplify cloud. If I tell us that this my laptop is a cloud, will we believe it? If I tell you that this laptop is a, please, not because I'm saying it, I'm just asking generally. If I say my laptop is a cloud, will we believe it? Who is yes, who is no? Who is yes? Your name? Okay, so why do you say yes? Okay, who said no? My laptop is a cloud, yes or no? Because you will explain why you say it's a remote server very soon. So laptop is a cloud, yes or no?
Yes.
Please, now, what's someone that said no? No, you should be able to have an opinion and stand by it. Please. If you said no, let's know your reason. You said evidence. Okay.
It does not have 24 hours availability.
It does not have 24 hours availability. You said, what do you say? Because it is a remote server. Why did you say it's a remote server? How can it be accessed from anywhere? Who said yes again? Your name? Blessing. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I've gotten what I needed. So, I said two things. I said everything on my laptop, I can access it on my phone. Probably that's what made him to say my laptop is a cloud. That was backup. But if you add what she said if you put internet, it becomes a cloud. That now makes sense to what you said, remote server. So if you say my laptop is a cloud, that means you are saying that my laptop has the ability to stay online. Then I have kept files here on my laptop, making sure that people can always access those files when needed without me uploading it to my Google Drive. Google Drive is a backup and data recovery, but putting it in a way that you can, like we would have a class. Last semester we did it. We wrote a test in class. I put that platform on my laptop, on internet, everybody connected to the internet, and as I was writing the test, the answers were entering my laptop, not online. We didn't connect it to internet. You know this thing, let me explain another thing. This device has a SIM card under. Let me use the simple scenario. All your phones have hotspots, yes or no? Whether you on your data or not, you can use Zender to transfer files, yes or no? What do you think is happening in that case? Your phone automatically is a server. Just know it now. So far your phone can do hotspot, it means your phone is a server, because your phone that does hotspot is enabling connection among several people. So I can decide to on my phone hotspot and connect my laptop to it. Without internet, all of you can connect to my laptop and write your CBT based examination. So that is one very, very principle of that explains cloud. So a cloud, like who explained this? A cloud simply means information being accessed online. So whenever you hear, oh, Google Cloud, Amazon Cloud, there is no computer somewhere sitting on the sky. No, it is just Amazon having computers that are seated in their office. They have connected generator, connected inverter, connected solar, connected whatever you can call it, connected 10 internet devices to that computer, connected AC. That AC is cooling that system. So whatever you are doing on Facebook is just feeding a particular computer. That is it. Whatever you are browsing on Google anywhere, it is just, if you go to a data center, we'll do we call it LOTC, learning outside the classroom. We'll do it maybe this semester or next. If you go to a data center, you are just seeing computers all connected. So what do you think is happening? Google now has carried all information and shared across all those computer systems. So when you type, like when we have tests and some of you want to copy, we ask you of CIA, you go and type define CIA. It is simply searching all the information which is interconnected amongst itself and bringing out with very good speed the results to your phone. And you now think it's one cloud. No, Google have just synchronized all the information to give you what you need. So cloud is just one office somewhere that has availability, integrity, and what is the other one? Confidentiality, that you are all accessing. That is cloud. That is cloud. So this is CIA triangle with their various characteristics. Please just study this diagram. Okay, so this is the comprehensive CIA triad. We should also look at confidentiality, the characteristics, access control, encryption, authentication, authorization, integrity, data accuracy, data completeness, non-repudiation, availability, reliable access, system uptime, and data recovery. Data recovery, very, very important. Practical application, case study analysis of CIA triad. I've explained quite a lot of them. Also, online banking system, hospital patients records, social media platforms. So now, we have 3 discussions we will do now. How do different organizations prioritize CIA elements? I'll ask us in this class now. So someone would help us from each row. We'll take one after the other. First of all, how do you think different organizations prioritize CIA elements? How do you think Uniport will prioritize CIA elements. Which aspect of the CIA triad do you think maybe the ICTC center will take more importance than the other? What aspect do you think maybe you as a department you will take more importance than the other? What aspect do you think maybe the hospital will take more importance than the other? That is what this question means. It's not a big word. What aspect do you think I will take more importance than the other? Then the next one, what happens when one element conflicts with the other? Then we would now propose and discuss modern challenges to maintaining that triad. First row, the first one. Two people help us. How do you think different organizations and why would they prioritize one aspect over another? Your name? Edward. Thank God. Okay, so help us. Just in your own view, it's an interaction. In your own view. You are still thinking. Ask your neighbor to help you. Please, you stand up. See, did you get what I said? I said, understand it in this way. Why should one organization why should your class take availability, or why do you think your class would take availability more important than confidentiality? Or why do you think a bank will take confidentiality more important than this one? Or why do you think you will take all the three more important? Please just understand the question. Why? No, go on. Okay, that's it. Your name, please. Simon. Your three last digits of your reg number. 009. Please, another person in this group to help us with the question. Your name? Bright. Okay, help us. If what? Which organization? What category? What do they do? Be practical. Okay, they need to take confidentiality and availability more important than integrity. Why? Okay. Confidence, what's your reg number? 0. Please, row 2, he does not know his number. Row 2, what happens when one element of the CIA triad conflicts with another? No, this row. You can help us. Yes. What happens when one... Just be practical, please. No, we're answering the second question now. What happens when one element conflicts with the other? What happens when one conflicts with the other? Or do you think there's any form of conflict? Or what happens when one conflicts with the other? Anybody from... Yeah.
My first crash.
Why?
Crash.
Okay, look at the diagram here. Tell us which of them is conflicting with one to cause crash.
Let me say
Data accuracy and availability. Okay.
if there's something bad.
Be practical now. Okay, you just know that something will happen.
But no, like if my boss like later to be exposed, something like that.
No?
Personal data.
Help us here.
When confidentiality is
When?
when confidentiality is integrity is lost. Like when
Did you get the question?
yes,
See all the three here: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Then see the three subtypes under them. What happens when maybe access control clash with, or what happens when this one clash with? That's what the question is asking. Do you think when any of them clash, or when one is taken as more priority than the other, what happens? But you must be practical. Who can help us with this question? This particular one. Yeah. No, select, not any.
if your integrity I think there will be when your kind of
Because we have to think rationally. Now we have said that all these characteristics are characteristics of cybersecurity. And we have said they are all important. Now, what happens when they clash? They brought a very important case which I didn't even think of. He talked about hospital. She now made it more practical, patient records. A doctor is doing surgery and he suddenly needs access to the blood type of the patient, or he suddenly needs access to the emergency contact of the person to maybe call the person to come and do a blood donation. By the over-sabi IT people policy, they have said that they have created access level for information, for patient information to all staff. Receptionists, no way. You can name, okay, receptionists can only know someone's name. Maybe the admin, you can, if you log in, you can only see their name and maybe their phone number. Accountants only see their name and details of their payments. You now say that the CMD, Chief Medical Director, should be able to see everybody's detail. And you make it to be such that now your encryption process, you have done it that for you to even enable access to people, they must pass through some lot of verification. There must be a token. They'll send a token. They'll get access to email. Let me give you one practical scenario. On my phone here, there's what is called Google Authenticator. A lot of us have it, but you may not be using it. My Google Authenticator here, I have a lot of applications I work with. What Authenticator does is this. When I'm trying to log into a particular application, I have to get a code from my phone and key into that application. We did a platform such that before you log into that platform, you put your password first. It will send you an email code. Then you now have to bring this authentication. Then it will now send you WhatsApp code. 4 levels of authentication. In the hospital records, surgery is going on. Everything has been working as usual. You made your encryption very thick. In the operation theater, they say internet is not meant to be on so that it will not obstruct with devices. Suddenly, internet is not there. Doctor wants to log into patient's record. He's asking you for email code. No email code. What happens? The patient dies. That is because there is now a conflict between confidentiality, availability. The system is on, but these two things was overdone with no provision for maybe in case there's any issue, what can happen? If this happens, what should happen? If the other one happens, what should happen? You understand? So that is what happens when one aspect is taken to conflict with another one. So that is why as cybersecurity experts, when you are creating policies for organizations, you have to be well knowledgeable in all of this. Because you may be in a role where you are not the one actually doing the technical job. Remember in the other first class last year, I thought I showed us several career tracks. Maybe you are the one in compliance. You are creating the rules, creating the policies, then giving it to the tech guys to implement. In creating policies, what sort of policies? What failback mechanism are you doing? If you lost Facebook password, Facebook usually send you something to your email. Now, Facebook will even ask you or Google, put in another email somewhere so that whatever happens, there's a way to verify. We did an application whereby only one device and one authentication can work. Now, we enrolled someone to learn on that platform. And because we enrolled her to learn, we forgot what we did or what we asked the person that did it to do. Only her phone now can log in. Now, whenever I want to log in, we have to call her because we felt we wanted to be too secure. We have to call her to press code. What if she's sleeping? We can't log in anymore. And we did it in a way that before we destabilize that thing, it will take us long process so that nobody can hack into that platform. Now it is working against us. Conflict between availability, integrity, and confidentiality. Did we understand that, please? Did we understand it? We want to close so that you can rest against your next class. Now, let's also see. What do we think? I'll ask this question to group 3. Please, both of you, you give me your... I'm owing both of you 5,000. But you reach out to cost rep. She will give it to you. Yeah, she will give it to you if you don't follow up with her. So, please, one house. One more question before we close. How does the CIA TRIAD applies to your personal life? Group 3. Now you have learned CIA TRIAD. How does it apply to your personal life? Group 3. Group 3. How do your CIA TRIAD apply to your personal life? Group 3. Please, what's your name? Yes, you. Ejiro. Angel. How does it apply to your personal life? What you have learned since morning, CIA TRIAD, how does it apply? Balancing it has to do with you and the organization and the case in question. Now, we are talking about, let me give us an example that happened just few weeks ago. Some people came to write an entrance exam in basic studies units. And they are jambites coming to take basic entrance examination. They are jambites. Now, if it was undergraduates coming to write CBT exam, I will tell you that you have to log in with your JAMREG number and your pass or your matric number. And I also tell you, you can use your phone number as your password. Why will I tell you to use your phone number as your password? Because when you came to do year 1 registration, you supplied your correct phone number, true or false? Jambites, please let's listen. Jambites, when they are filling their jam form, can we be 100% sure that it is their phone number that they use to fill that form or their parents' number? Sorry? Parents or phone number. Now they are coming to write basic entrance exam. And as the IT person, I'm using the data coming in from JAMB. Do you think it would be wise to tell them that your password is your phone number? There'll be chaos. Because suddenly everybody will say, I cannot log in, I cannot log in. You are balancing the CIA TRIAD. Meaning in ensuring confidentiality, which is authentication and access control, you must compromise because of availability. Because the exam just need to be written, you are controlling crowd. You must now reduce the authentication level, meaning that you are giving rise to malpractice. But what can you do? Something must be done at the expense of some. Why do I say malpractice? Because I'm simply telling them, log in with your JAM number, meaning that anybody can claim to be the student and write the exam. You understand? That is why off record, let me stop my recording now. I've answered your question. That is why